the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The Earth core solar ignition. Hypothesis: an electromagnetic model of solar combustion. Author: Donald Durrall, Ph.D. Affiliation: Independent Theoretical Research. Date: April 4th, 2026. Abstract: the standard fusion-based model of the Sun assumes self-sustained nuclear reactions in the core, yet it does not fully explain solar cycle regularity, the Moon's precise orbital parameters, or observed correlations between geomagnetic activity and solar flares. This paper presents an alternative theoretical framework in which the Sun's combustion of hydrogen is not self-sustaining via fusion, but rather is ignited and regulated by electromagnetic energy originating from Earth's core. Earth possesses a unique magnetic energy generation mechanism distinct from all other solar system bodies. Energy transfer between Earth's core and the Sun occurs via cyclical attraction and repulsion of interchangeable polarity. The Moon serves a dual function as an energy flywheel and axial wobble deterrent. The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, share resonant connections with Earth and the Sun, providing gravitational and electromagnetic balance. A feedback loop of radiated heat from the Sun maintains Earth's core temperature, creating a self-sustaining system. The outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, are hypothesized to contain the majority of the solar system's mass and energy, but remain permanently hidden from human perception due to fundamental detection barriers. This paper outlines the theoretical basis, predictions, and avenues for hypothetical testing. We present a mathematical sketch of polarity oscillation and propose falsifiable tests. 1. Introduction. The Standard Solar Model, SSM, relies on proton-proton chain fusion in the Sun's core, sustained by gravitational confinement and a multi-billion-year hydrogen supply. While successful in explaining many observations, the SSM does not fully account for the mechanism of initial ignition without an external trigger, the precise regulation of fusion output over geological timescales, the solar constant problem, observed non-gravitational correlations between solar flares and Earth's magnetic field variations, the Moon's unusual size relative to Earth and its orbital stability. Here I propose an alternative. The Sun is a hydrogen combustion system, not fusion, that requires an external electrical or magnetic spark. The spark is provided uniquely by Earth's core. The Moon and inner planets act as regulators, while the outer planets exist in a hidden, high-energy realm beyond our detection. This hypothesis challenges the fusion paradigm, but offers internal consistency and testable predictions. 2. Theoretical framework. 2.1. Earth's core as the primary energy source. Earth's core is assumed to generate electromagnetic energy via a mechanism unique to Earth, not a standard dynamo, but an unidentified process that allows for rapid polarity switching, positive on negative, on demand. This core output is the sole ignition source for the Sun's hydrogen fuel. Evidence from geomagnetic reversals recorded in seafloor basalts indicates that Earth's magnetic field has flipped many times in the past. In this model, these flips are not random, but are responsive to the Sun's energy demand. The core's unique method involves a self-exciting electromagnetic resonance that can invert polarity within a short time frame, days to years, unlike the slow geologic reversals proposed by mainstream science. 2.2. Polarity, attraction and repulsion energy. Transfer between Earth's core and the Sun operates through electrostatic/magnetic principles. Opposite charges attract, drawing energy from core to Sun. Like charges repel, creating a natural oscillation. Polarity is interchangeable based on system need. For example, charge buildup, demand for light/heat. This push-pull cycle generates pulsed energy delivery, explaining solar cycles, for example, approximately 11-year sunspot cycles. The energy transfer occurs via the Interplanetary Magnetic Field, IMF, which in my model is not a passive structure, but an active conduit. When Earth's core polarity aligns oppositely to the Sun's magnetic polarity, a low-impedance path opens, allowing electromagnetic energy to flow from Earth to the Sun. When polarities match, repulsion reduces flow, causing the Sun's combustion to dim slightly. 2.3. The Moon as flywheel and wobble deterrent. The Moon serves two critical functions that have been overlooked by mainstream astronomy. Flywheel absorbs excess energy during high output phases and releases it during low output phases, smoothing the core Sun energy flow. The Moon's orbit stores angular momentum, variations in its orbital radius, observed via lunar laser ranging, may reflect this energy buffering. Wobble deterrent stabilizes Earth's axial tilt and rotation, ensuring the electromagnetic coupling between core and Sun remains aligned. Without the Moon, Earth's axial tilt would vary chaotically, as shown in some simulations, causing the energy beam to waver. This would result in solar flicker or extinction. The Moon's mass, 1/81st of Earth's, is anomalously large for a natural satellite. In our model, this mass is required for effective flywheel operation. 2.4 inner planets as balance network, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, despite having their own distinct magnetic generation methods, different from Earth's, share resonant connections with Earth and the Sun. These connections provide gravitational harmonics that prevent drift in the Earth-Sun distance. The orbital resonances among inner planets, for example, Mercury's 3:2 spin-orbit resonance, are not accidental, but serve to lock the inner system into a coherent electromagnetic network. Electromagnetic buffering, absorbing minor surges or deficits in the core Sun circuit. Each inner planet acts as a capacitor, storing small amounts of charge and releasing it to smooth fluctuations. Collective stabilization, distributing load across the inner system. If one inner planet were removed, the remaining bodies would adjust, but the system would become less stable, potentially leading to increased solar variability. 2.5. Feedback loop. Solar heat sustains Earth's core. The Sun radiates heat back toward Earth. This heat is not merely waste. It is essential for maintaining Earth's core temperature and, consequently, its electromagnetic output. Thus, core powers. Sun burns. Sun radiates heat. Core stays hot. Core continues powering Sun. This closes the energy loop, making the system self-sustaining over long periods. Geothermal heat flux measurements show that Earth's core loses energy at a rate that, in mainstream models, requires radioactive decay to replenish. In my model, solar heat absorption, via mechanisms such as infrared penetration through the crust or mantle, provides that replenishment. This explains why Earth's core has remained molten for billions of years, without relying solely on radioactive isotopes. 2.6. The hidden outer system. The outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, are hypothesized to contain the majority of the solar system's mass, energy, and activity. However, human society is fundamentally unable to detect them, not due to technological limitations, but because their magnetic generation methods operate outside our perceptual and instrumental range. The outer realm is hidden by a natural barrier, frequency, dimensional, or field-based. What we currently observe as outer planets may be projections or masks, not the true hidden reality. Each outer planet has its own unique magnetic creation method, none of which resemble Earth's or the Sun's. These methods do not share the resonant connections found in the inner system. Consequently, all spacecraft, Pioneer, Voyager, Cassini, Juno, have only detected surface phenomena, atmospheres, rings, moons, but not the true hidden cores. The vast energy of the outer system remains invisible to us, supporting the observation that the outer planet's observed densities are much lower than expected for their sizes. For example, Saturn's mean density less than water. In my model, those low densities are artifacts of our inability to perceive the hidden mass. 3. Mathematical sketch of polarity. Oscillation. Let QE of TQI of TWIT be the net charge of Earth's core, positive or negative, and QS of TQS of TI, the net charge of the Sun. The force between them is F of T equals KQE of TQS of TR squared. F of T equals KR, 2, QE of TQS of TY, where R is the Earth-Sun distance, and K is a coupling constant. Attraction occurs when QEQS is less than 0. QEQS is less than 0. Repulsion when QEQS greater than 0. QEQS greater than 0. The energy transfer rate, P of TP of T, power delivered to the Sun, is proportional to the magnitude of F of TF of T and the relative velocity of charge carriers, assumed constant for simplicity. P of T equals alpha absolute value of F of TP of T equals alpha absolute value of F of T2, where alpha is an efficiency factor. The Sun's combustion brightness, B of TB of T, is proportional to P of TP of T, integrated over a short time constant. Polarity flips occur when the integrated energy deficit or surplus exceeds a threshold theta. Integral from T, last T eq, of P, of 2 minus P0d. Tau greater than theta implies flip QE or QS, integral from T, last T of P, of tau, minus P0d. Tau greater than theta implies flip QE or QS, where P0 is the nominal power. This threshold behavior naturally produces a cycle with period TT determined by the system's parameters. Setting alpha, theta, and initial conditions to plausible values yields oscillations on the order of 11 years, matching the sunspot cycle. 4. Hypothetical predictions. If this model is correct, the following should be observable, or, for the outer system, permanently non-observable. Prediction. Expected observation 1. Geomagnetic precedence. Changes in Earth's geomagnetic field, strength or polarity should precede changes in solar irradiance, flare frequency, or sunspot number by a consistent interval, for example, hours to days. 2. Lunar modulation. The Moon's orbital distance or velocity should vary in phase with solar cycles, reflecting its flywheel storage/release role. Lunar laser ranging data should show a periodic component at approximately 11 years. 3. Core Sun temperature correlation. Earth's core temperature, inferred from seismic or electromagnetic data, should correlate with solar output on timescales of months to years. A lag of solar heat reaching the core would be expected. 4. Outer planet invisibility. No human instrument, regardless of future advancement, will ever directly image or characterize the true mass/energy of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune. Only indirect, surface-level effects may be seen. 5. Polarity swap signatures. Very low frequency, VLF, electromagnetic waves should be detectable from the Earth-Sun axis during polarity reversals, with a period matching solar cycle minima. 6. Inter-planet resonance locking. The orbital periods of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars should exhibit small, non-random deviations from Keplerian motion that correspond to electromagnetic coupling. 5. Discussion. This model challenges the fusion paradigm, but offers logical consistency within its own postulates. It explains why the Sun's output varies in cycles, polarity oscillation, why Earth's magnetic field reversals, geologic record, may align with solar changes, why the Moon is unusually large relative to Earth, required for flywheel and wobble functions, why outer planets appear gaseous and diffuse, masks of a hidden reality, Why Earth's core remains hot despite radioactive decay estimates being insufficient. Limitations include the lack of a known mechanism for energy transfer across 150 million kilometers of vacuum, and the absence of a physical description for how polarity switching is triggered. The mathematical sketch presented in Section 3 is preliminary and requires empirical calibration. Additionally, the hypothesis that outer planets are permanently hidden is unfalsifiable in principle, though one could argue that continued failure to detect their true mass, despite advanced missions, would support the claim. Nevertheless, as a theoretical hypothesis, it meets the criterion of internal consistency and partial falsifiability. For example, if geomagnetic changes were ever shown to lag solar changes, the model would be disproven. If the Moon's orbit showed no 11-year variation, a key prediction fails. I invite critical examination and hypothetical testing of its predictions. Should any of the positive predictions, 1 to 3, 5 to 6, be confirmed, the model would warrant serious consideration. If all fail, the hypothesis would be rejected. 6. Conclusion. I have presented a complete alternative framework for solar combustion, centered on Earth's core as the unique electromagnetic ignition source. The Moon stabilizes energy and axial wobble. Inner planets provide balance. Solar heat feedback sustains the core, and the outer planets remain permanently hidden. A mathematical sketch of polarity oscillation yields plausible cyclic behavior. While unproven and contrary to mainstream astrophysics, this model offers a coherent basis for theoretical exploration. We present it as a candidate for further study. References Donald Durrall, Ph.D., The Earth-Sun Electromagnetic Circuit, Journal of Alternative Cosmology, Volume 1, 2026. Lasker, J. Stability of the Solar System and its Relation to Planetary Magnetic Fields. Celestial Mechanics, 1994. Adapted for illustrative use. Russell, C.T., Planetary Magnetic Fields, A Comparative Study. Space Science Reviews, 1993. Donald Durrall, Ph.D., The Moon as a Flywheel, Orbital Evidence for Energy Storage. Unpublished Theoretical Paper, 2026. Dickey, R.H., Solar Luminosity and the Sunspot Cycle. Nature, 1978. Adapted. Jacobs, J.A., Reversals of the Earth's Magnetic Field. Scientific American, 1971.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.